Let's go! Batter up! We're taking the afternoon off. It's a beautiful day for a ball game, today. The fans are out to get a ticket or two. From Walla Walla, Washington to Kalamazoo. It's a beautiful day for a home run, but even a triple's okay. We're gonna cheer and boo and raise a hullabaloo at the ball game today.
Hey everybody, it's me, Rick Acosta, the Dodger Card Collector, coming to you with another video. Tonight is Friday night, a very late Friday night, August 22nd. And I came home a couple of hours ago from the West Coast Card Show powered by Burbank Sportscards at the Anaheim Convention Center. And I haven't done a card show in a while. I like to give reviews, especially for those of you that are thinking of heading out to the show this weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday. Just wanted to give you guys some tips, some notes you might want to consider when you get out there that hopefully can help you out and give you a review of the show. So let me give you some of the basic information first, just to get it out of the way. I had to make notes. So, as I mentioned, the show is at the Anaheim Convention Center. This was the first time, though, they have moved halls. They have changed halls. They are now in Hall D, as in dog, or as in Dodger dog. And it's a very big hall. So, usually I know that when I've parked my car in the past, when I get out of the stairwell, I make a right into the North Hall. No, we're not going that way anywhere. When you get out of parking, make a left, and you take a little bit of a hike down to Hall D. That's where the show is going to be. The hours are Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. 10 a.m. is VIP entry. Regular general admission is 11 a.m. And then Sunday, the hours are 9 to 4. VIP admission is 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. And the general admission is 10 a.m. Let's see, prices, $35 for VIP and $30 for general admission. Parking there is $25. Good parking, lots of parking. If you are one of those who doesn't like to park, you would probably have to do off-street parking, which is about 2 or 3 blocks south of the venue, anything south of Orangewood Avenue. It's a little bit of a hike, and we're kind of in the middle of a heat wave. So think about it if you really want to do that. But there is free off-street parking. I don't know, though, if it's 2-hour parking or anything like that. So be safe. Just park in the parking spot. Your car is well protected there. So that is the logistics of it. The hall, like I said, was huge. I walked in and noticed we were in a different room, and I just said, whoa, this is big. And I've been to every show they've had, and this was the first time I kind of went, whoa. It was a step up from previous shows. And what I mean is the hall was so large, Pokemon had its own area. Now, some of you might make a face about that, but it was actually the best thing they could have done. Pokemon gets their own little area. And then the rest, like when you walk in, the part of the left side of the building is for Pokemon. And I'll say it wasn't that big. I could be wrong. And then the rest is for sports cards. And there were a lot of sports cards. I'll be honest, you know me, I don't pay attention to too much modern, so please don't kill me. Obviously there was modern there. I can't give you an honest review just because I wasn't looking. I really wasn't. Vintage, this is my opinion. This is my statement. It's the best vintage show I've ever been on in a very long time, maybe even ever. West Coast Card Show is really stepping it up. I'm starting to see vendors, sellers from all over the country. I'm seeing people that I've started to see in some of your national videos, you guys. And let's say this, there was so much vintage. It used to take me an hour and a half to do the entire haul. Now the hall's a lot bigger that we're in. It took me several hours to do the haul this time because of distractions or me stopping every 10 minutes, or I was spending 10 minutes at so many different tables because there was so much vintage there, which was wonderful to see. And like I said, I'll go on record and say that was like the best vintage show I'd ever seen on the West Coast. I've never done a card show out east or in the Midwest, so can't judge them against those guys. But for the West Coast, it was damn good. I was very pleased. Lots of graded cards. We expect that. Lots of pre-war. Lots of pre-war. For those of you that call cards oddball, there were tons of oddball cards. There was a lot there. Commons. My set building friends. We have people. We don't have the fancy binders that the East Coast does, but commons made their way out to this show. So there was, if you go out there with your checklist book, there's going to be some people who are going to be able to help you out. So there was lots of commons for the set builders. One thing that I saw a lot of today, I am seeing a lot of bargain vintage slabs. You know, $20 a slab or 2 slabs for $30. You might find some great stuff. I mean, sometimes it's just something like a guy who played on the Dodgers in a 1958 Topps card. But, you know, if you have the time, you have the patience to go through, I am starting to see vintage slabs, which was bargain vintage slabs, which was wonderful. Let's see. I had to write notes. Prices. It's kind of what I was hearing the reports out of the National. If you're going for the heavy hitters, you know, you're getting your Mickey Mantles, or for some reason you have the money to spend on a Honus Wagner or something like that, it's expensive. Yeah, and prices are going up. It just feels like they're going up. Those are for the bigger cards. If you're going for the second tier, and if there's such thing as a third tier Hall of Famer or a third tier just a vintage card, you can find really good deals. Without giving it away, I would definitely tell you to check out Cheese Mikey's video, because he found some wonderful bargains of some great Hall of Famers. And I was with him when it happened, and I was like, going, wow. But you would find players like Eddie Matthews, like Al Kaline, like Frank Robinson, like Don Drysdale. Nice prices. So that was really good to see. Yes, you know, and I was, frankly, I went to go price 1954 Topps Hank Aaron, 1955 Topps Roberto Clemente, 1967 Topps Tom Seaver, and yeah, they're expensive, and they're getting more expensive. So that's still happening. Let's see, as I mentioned already, there were sellers from all over the country. The vintage at this show seems to get larger every show, and from what I have learned, the Ontario show is going to be exclusively sports cards. No Pokemon, and that's in February. But that's 6 months from now. But it was a good show. PSAs there, amongst others, if you want to do submissions. In regards to, you know, the amenities, there were plenty of restrooms. I will tell you this. I actually wrote this down. The AC worked beautifully. The Wi-Fi worked beautifully. I was actually cold. The aisles are very wide. I had numerous conversations. I am in the middle. Me and someone else are in the middle having a conversation, and we're not blocking anybody's way. Aisles are nice and wide. They don't offer chairs in the front. They offer chairs for the sellers, but there's no chairs in the front if you want to sit and look at cards. But that's probably what blocks the aisles. I was having such a good time, and I was walking around, and it took me so long to walk around. I didn't go to the restroom. I didn't eat, so there was food. I saw nachos as I left, so there is food available. There is definitely alcohol available, thanks to my friend Mike Petty, who took care of me. Thank you, Mike. And there's food, there's alcohol. You don't need to leave the premises if you want to hang out. Like I said, I got there at 10:30. I left at 6:30. I was tired, but I'll be honest. It was tough because there was so much good stuff. I don't feel I caught. I did catch everything, but I didn't have time to do one more walk. Another walk would have taken me an hour or two, and that wasn't going to happen. But it was a good show. I was very pleased. I didn't buy much. And you guys know I went in with a budget, but the inventory was very, very good. Got to see some of my friends like I always do. George Damignard Sports Cards, Gloria and Eric, Levon, LA Collection. Thank you always for your hospitality. Saw my friend Mitch's vintage collection. He was buying some stuff. He's buying some stuff that I'm not talking to you guys about because I kind of want to think about it. Got to see them. Got to see some YouTubers. Got to see G's Mikey. Got to see Jesse Think Blue. Got to see Mike Petty. Got to see Mark. Mark's Vintage Dodgers. Got to see other friends, and there's so many that I'm going to start forgetting names, but I got to see my friends Anthony and Edison, and just people coming up to me, and it was really nice. It was a very friendly vibe of a show, and just had a really good time. It was a really good show. So I highly recommend, if you're thinking of going out there, yeah, I'd go. I would go to that before any other show in this neck of the woods. I definitely would. The show's gotten that much. It was always, in my opinion, a good show. You know, I'll give it above average show. Now I'd say it's really becoming a top tier show, and I hope they keep it up. And I have a feeling they're going to. All right, so I was able to pick up some cards. So let me turn let's turn the camera around, and I'll show you some baseball cards, you guys. All right, before I forget, this is why I shouldn't be naming names on my channel. I failed to mention I also was introduced to Paul and his daughter Leah from Fast Breaks and Breakfast. It was wonderful to finally meet them. We always missed each other at shows, so it was wonderful to meet them. Hopefully we can set aside some time where we get to talk and just talk about sports, talk about cards, all that fun stuff. All right, so I did buy a few cards, you guys. So let's just start. So my first card I bought, the first two are from my friend Mitch, 1966 Topps Jim Hunter. You're probably saying, what's this? And I'm not building a 1966 set. I'm just I've found that I had some commons. It's sitting in my collection, and there's a couple of holes in it that I just like to fill up. Probably my OCD kicking in, but just decided to pick up a couple of 1956 cards. Besides Jim Hunter, I also picked up I believe he's passed away, and I remember listening to this guy on the radio, former announcer of the Cardinals, Mike Shannon, and I picked up this 1963 card, or 1966 card of his. So Mitch gave me a deal on both of these. He gave me both cards for $5. So thank you, Mitch. And Mitch and I had a wonderful talk about some of his cards that I'd like to look at the show next month at the City of Industry. So hopefully I see some of you out there. So those are from 1966. Was able to pick up some 1961 cards. Last time I spoke to you, I was down to 8. I kind of went on an embargo, or I kind of went on a hiatus on buying cards because things have gotten a little crazy the past month. I think I'm finally able to start buying some cards again. Now that I bought some cards today, I might need to take a week or two off, but we'll see. First one I'm going to show you is this Ernie Banks card. So there's my Ernie Banks. I think I paid a whopping $30 for this. Liking the prices on these 61s. Next, here's another $30 card. That one might have been in the 20s. That's the Bob Gibson card. And then a couple of bigger cards that I was able to get good deals on. I was surprised. First one, the Hank Aaron card. That one ran me about $40. The Hank Aaron MVP card. And then my last card, or one of my last cards, so I can't give you the full stats yet, is I found this 1961 MVP Mickey Mantle. That one ran me a little over $100. But there was good ungraded vintage to be found. That's for sure. So then there's Mickey Mantle. Then I bought a couple of graded cards to wrap things up. My first one is a 1935 Diamond Stars Mickey Cochran in a PSA 1. That one cost me $95. But I was, for the first time I noticed, there were a lot of Diamond Stars cards, which was nice to see. Oh God, and there was a seller, I didn't get his name. I've never seen him before. He was selling so much 1941, graded 1941 play ball cards. If this guy had been around 2 years ago, I would have finished my set much earlier. There was a lot of good graded stuff, Diamond Stars play ball floating around. But that is my Mickey Cochran card. And the last card I bought right before I left, you know, you always hear people when they're advising you about big shows to pay attention, or, you know, if you see a card, buy it because you might not find the card, or worse, you might not find the seller. And that was my case in trying to find this card. I couldn't find the seller. There were two different, or the same card, two different sellers. I never found one of them ever again. Luckily, on like the fifth attempt, I finally found the seller. And he sold me this 1961 Topps Henry Aaron in a BVG, of all things, 3. The price is $125. I offered him $100. He took it, which I was very pleased with. The Aaron had a little bit more sense of urgency, just because the cards that I am down to, which I'll tell you in a moment, I am finding easier online, and I was struggling to find the Aaron online. And this was one card I definitely wanted to buy today to finish my 1961 set. So, not realizing that I was going to be given a free ticket the next Saturday and Sunday's front row card show in San Diego. So I might head down, I'll probably head down there and see what they're offering vintage-wise. But with this, it leaves me 3 cards to finish the 1961 set. What are those 3 cards? Card number 150. Willie Mays, card numbers 287, Carl Yastrzemski, and card number 307, a World Series Game 2. I think Mickey Mantle hit 2 home runs. The Mantle, I think I could find easy for about $40 if I'm lucky. The Mays I have been finding for $50 and $60. In fact, I could have bought a Mays for $50 at the show. There was a little bit too much snow on his card, so I passed. A Yastrzemski, I saw tons of Yastrzemskis, but in this case, they were overpriced at the show today. I was seeing prices of $125, $150, $200, and I know for a fact that there's a couple of good ones online for $75, and if I wanted to buy it right now, I could. But I am on a budget, so we have to take our time and wait for our next payday. So that is my wrap-up on the West Coast card show powered by Burbank Sportscards. If you were part of my day, thank you so much. It was a great day. It was wonderful to see you all. It was a nice day to be buying sports cards, and just a nice day to be around friends. So I will leave you on that, you guys. Maybe my next report will be from San Diego. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
It's a beautiful day for a ball game.